We've got two supreme fighters lined up. This is gonna be one hell of a show!
Okay guys, I'm back. I went to SDCC, or San Diego Comic Con 2013, and it was awesome. It was, it's one of those things, if you ever get the chance to do it, do it. For me personally, the hype around it, it's just palpable when you walk in the doors. It's, you know, cosplay and panels and celebrities and TV shows and movies and just all pop culture and video games and of course statues, which I'm really interested in, and exclusives everywhere, and people running around trying to pick up these limited editions and what have you. It's a really incredible experience. It lasts 4.5 days, and then at night there's parties and all sorts, and I can't tell you how much fun I had. It was just amazing. I also got a chance to meet up with some of the statue collectors from the forums, so shout outs to Josh, to Francois, to Brian, to Fernando, to Chris, I've got a list down here, to Alex and to Danny, and I missed AJ unfortunately. I did get to see Jerry Macaluso and Eric Sosa wandering around. Actually, Eric Sosa has some really amazing Street Fighter statues that he was showing in a very small corner of the convention center. They weren't painted up, they're actually kits, but they're really amazing, and they look great together. So definitely worth checking out his website, which is Prototypez Studios. So I basically, in this video, just wanted to talk about the Kidrobot exclusives, and that is Mecha Zangief right here. Not sure if you can see him there, but I'll do a close-up. And also Shin Akuma, which is kind of the one that everybody was really missing from the first series, because he's pretty much the coolest character. So let me talk a little bit about both of these. So Mecha Zangief was available at the Capcom store and was also available at Kidrobot at certain times. They both sold out. I think there was 3,000 on offer, so that just goes to show how popular they actually are. Mecha is an interesting character in this form. I prefer the Mecha Zangief that's in Street Fighter 4 because it's literally, his body is different. He actually looks like a robot. This is just a color change, a skin palette change, and he was originally introduced in Street Fighter versus Marvel Superheroes, I believe, way back in the day. But still, it's pretty cool as an exclusive. He's got these crazy red eyes, which make him look, you know, like he's in control, being controlled, and he's evil. And he's got these crazy red teeth, and then, you know, the rest of him is completely silver. And yeah, it's a pretty cool little exclusive, and I'm glad I got my hands on him because I haven't yet missed an exclusive, so that's pretty awesome. Second one, actually, you had to get at the BAIT, that's B-A-I-T apparel. They do lots of really cool apparel, including this t-shirt that I'm sporting here, which is kind of like a, you know, old-fashioned Japanese style Akuma. When you bought the Shin Akumas on day one, you could buy one Shin Akuma per person, and then you could buy an extra Shin Akuma if you bought it with a t-shirt, which was kind of like annoying, but that was their thing. And then on day two, it was literally, you had to buy a t-shirt in order to buy a Shin Akuma. So the t-shirt was like 20 bucks, and this was 15 bucks, so it was like 35 bucks in total. So I actually picked up two on day one, luckily. And I picked up the t-shirt that went with it. There was one specific t-shirt, and I didn't like it. So I went back the following day and pretended that I had bought the t-shirt separately, and I didn't really like it, and I wanted to switch it, so I got this one instead. So I kind of lucked out there. They were kind of busy, and they didn't really pay me much attention. Now, this is, you know, what's awesome about this is obviously he has the white eyes, the white teeth, and the white hair. He has the beads. I'm so glad they included the beads because it just wouldn't work without the beads, I don't think. The color of his gi is kind of, I think it's supposed to be purple, but to me, it might be going colorblind, but it looks a little brownish. And then of course on the back he has a kanji, which is different from Akuma's kanji, because this one's more, I guess, more godlike or whatever, but I believe it means destruction. I've forgotten the Japanese name for it. It might be Mesatsu, but that could be completely wrong. So you can correct me in the comments box. But he's an awesome little character, and I've been waiting for him for a long time. So long, in fact, that I actually had my own version made a while ago in a completely different style, but I was just like, I need an Akuma. So I had this Akuma who also, this is one of a kind, has his own beads and is painted in a different fashion. And this one actually has sandals. The guy put sandals on this one. The Kidrobot one doesn't have sandals, which is, you know, it doesn't bother me that much because they're Kidrobot figures. You know, they're 3-inch dunnies, so not a problem. If it was a larger statue, then you know, like a pop culture shock, people are often sort of a little irritated that the sandals weren't included. You know, because it's just one of those details. It's kind of one of those things that makes Akuma super cool. Is that he can pull off the sandals and be hard as nails. So yeah, those two characters are pretty awesome, and they come in these awesome little exclusive boxes, which I'm going to keep. So I have the one for Zangief, I have the one for Akuma with bait, and then I have the original one with Ryu, Evil Ryu. The one for Blanka for New York Comic Con was just a regular box, so I didn't keep that. So I'm going to keep those 3 boxes. Those are the only boxes that I'm going to keep. The exclusives do not come with the stickers, so in many ways for me as a collection, it kind of makes the stickers redundant. I don't care about the stickers anyway, so it's all good. Now, anything that's really annoying for me at least is this Akuma does not fit in my cases because he's taller than all of the other characters, so I'm kind of screwed on that front. I'm going to have to buy new cases, which is really annoying because these were really cheap, you know, a good price, and now I've got to figure out another way to display these guys. I do want to display them in cases. I can't stand it when they're littered around the place and they can get knocked over easily and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I would say the Akuma is amazing. The Mecha Zangief is pretty cool. You know, it's a cool exclusive. But Shin Akuma is really cool, and soon, you know, they'll be releasing the new Akuma, Gen, Goken, Kami, was it Sakura, I think, and then that's going to be cool. And then at the moment you can buy these Versus boxes, which is like the player 2 versions of the bosses, which is cool, but it's annoying the way you buy them. I've said this before, because basically it's a blind box with the boss. Now, the pro of it is that you know you're buying the boss, because, you know, like M. Bison, for instance, is 1 in 80 or something. Like he's a chase figure. So at least you know what you're buying. You're buying those bosses. But it costs $20, so it's going to cost you $80 to get the 4 bosses in the player 2 colors. And then you'll get 4 random Street Fighters that if you collect, you already will have. So you'll have to sell those or do something with them. But you know, we'll see if those come down in price. I don't know if they will or not, but you know, sometimes maybe at New York Comic Con there'll be other booths, and on the last day sometimes you can get them a little bit cheaper. They were selling them for 25% cheaper on the last day at Kidrobot in San Diego, but I got there too late, and they only had Balrog left, so I was like, nah, I'll just wait until I get all 4 together. I'm rambling a little bit, but that's it. That's the 2 new figures. It's going to look pretty awesome in my collection when I get new cases, and I'm happy I managed to get this t-shirt as well. I'm going to do a couple of other videos on some of the other exclusives I picked up at Comic Con, so check those out. Alright, cheers guys.
Perfect!